All right, so we are at our third place. So now you have arrived in the US. We know that life is very expensive here. And the good news is, as an international student, you can work in the US, but only on campus. You are not allowed to work off campus. You get in trouble and you can be deported. So, when you arrive, you have 90 days. You can't just get a job the very day you arrived. So, there is something we call here Social Security. So, before you get a Social Security number, because you need Social Security to be able to work. Now, how do you get Social Security as an international student? Well, on campus, you got to look around. Some schools have a place where they put jobs that are available on campus. Some schools don't have that. You got to ask. So, that you can get a job at the library, you can get a job in student dining hall, like the kitchen. We call them dish crews. You do dishes, you clean, you pick up plates when students are done. Usually they pay very well. There are other yard work. You can mow the lawn or shovel snow in winter time. There are various job opportunities. It depends what you're looking for and what's open or available that time. So before you go to the Social Security office, you need to have a job offer letter from the business office. Remember, you gotta get a job. Let's say Carol, she's the one in charge of the kitchen, and say, hey, I need to hire someone. And she said she interview you, she gets you the job. Your next step is to go to the business office and get a job offer letter. Then you're gonna take that letter. If you know how to drive, great, you might be able to drive. But I doubt it that you will be able to. Talk to a friend. They're gonna give you a ride. Over here, people can give you a ride. They'll give you a ride to Social Security office in town. And then you're gonna tell them that, hey, I wanna apply for Social Security office. Remember, you're gonna take your passport and your I-20 in addition to the job offer letter before you go to the Social Security office in town. Then once you apply, then your Social Security card, bluish with a number on it, gonna come in the mail. It's a very, very important document. People can use it to do bad things in your name, because in the United States, that number is your ID number for the rest of the time you're here. So, even if you change your status, you are no longer a student, your Social Security number is gonna be the same. So you gotta keep it in a very safe place, known only to you. Don't give that on the phone to anybody. So then with the Social Security number, you're gonna start working. And for some people coming, especially some of us coming from countries where we don't know much about taxes, you're gonna be paying tax. But that's how when you come to the US, you can get part-time job and you can work 25 hours per week in a school time, and you can work up to 35 to 40 hours in summertime when you are not in a school. And if you are undergrad, you are required to have at minimum 12 credits. If it's a grad school, you can have 9 credits. Just remember that.
Okay, as an international student, if I understand, you are allowed to work on campus. Does everyone has to necessarily work, or you don't have to?
You really don't have to work. For instance, I have a lot of needs. I have people back home in Togo, where I'm from, that depends on me. And so, and also, I have needs here. I gotta pay for my toothpaste, my soap, and I got a car. My sponsor get me a car, so but I gotta pay for the insurance. So stuff like that, you need to have money, and I needed to work to have money, and also to buy some of the toys that we like. For me, it's a guitar. But
Okay.
you don't have to work if your parent wanna sponsor you, yeah. But some of us have to work to pay our books, make photocopies, and stuff like that.
Yes, that's one thing I want you to cover. How does one get the books for classes here?
So that's a very good question. At the beginning, I didn't know it. I bought all my books in the library, in the school. But that's a very, very expensive. Now, you can buy all your textbooks on Amazon. Usually, every teacher will give you what we call syllabus. So basically, what about the class, the grading rubric, what they are looking for, and then they're going to list books that you need to purchase for that particular class. Just go on Amazon, Google those books. I will even say buy a used one. I mean, at the beginning here in the US, I purchased books. Some of them were literally $300. Later on, I realized that I could have bought the same book for $20 because someone just used it and is selling on Amazon. There are other websites that we're going to put the link below. It's called half.com. Half.com has wonderful books for very cheap price. So that's how you can buy your books online, or if you don't have a credit card, then you have to buy it in the school bookstore, you know. Or if you have a roommate, what I did, for instance, when I came to US, I didn't have a credit card. What did I do? My roommate used his credit card to purchase books, and I pay him cash.
That's a really thoughtful roommate.
Yes. Well, but you gotta ask sometime.
Okay. Last question regard to international student.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I know here you taking classes.
Uh-huh.
How does the grading system work here?
Wow. Well, that's another piece of information. So the grading system depends on the teacher. Now, the good news, or the good thing about US is everything is straightforward, at least from my perspective. So when they give you that syllabus, they're going to show you that A is 100%, B is 85 or whatever it is, A plus, A minus, they do that. It's going to be in the syllabus. Some teachers don't do quiz, okay? They're just going to have you read books and do book reviews, and they're going to grade you. I have teachers that did that. They don't do quizzes. There are some teachers almost every week there are quizzes, and then they grade that accordingly. But at the end of the day, they compile all your grades, you know, to make the average grades and give it a letter. Did you get a, for instance, the minimum grade you can get here is a C, and I think that's 70 over 100, let's say. So that's C. It's not like in some French countries or English countries in Africa where, you know, it's like over 100, over 10, over 20. No, C is a 70, and that's minimum there. So if you get D, like 60 or 55, well, you failed that class. You're going to redo that class again. So you want to, and I'm not in any place to give you advice, but to be honest with you, if you can travel that far to come to US here, you better focus. Because I see a lot of students get distracted, go too much outing and night and parties, and they start getting low grades and flunk their classes. You don't want to do that. So to get a good grade, you got to focus on your classes, go through the syllabus. You don't understand, ask the teacher, what are you really looking for? So exam, quizzes, readings, and the teacher grade it how he wants. Sometimes there is something they call degree on curve, meaning that, you know, they give you a question later on, there are stuff or information that question that is wrong, not correct. Instead of having you do the whole thing, they grade on curve, meaning they are flexible and nobody fails those classes. But that's very rare. The best bet, focus, study hard, you get A's.